October of 2016 was a strange time to be alive. If you were on the internet back then, you already know what I mean. Social media was flooded with videos, photos, and rumors of creepy clown sightings popping up all over the country. Some people swore they'd seen clowns lurking in forests. Others claimed they were standing silently on street corners at night. Most of it was obviously fake, people in cheap costumes trying to go viral, but not all of it. What happened to me that October wasn't a prank, and it wasn't a joke. And to this day, I still get chills thinking about how close I came to something much worse. I was 16 years old at the time, a junior in high school, and my life was painfully normal. Classes, homework, friends, repeat. That afternoon was no different. Seventh period ended like it always did. I said goodbye to my friends, slung my backpack over my shoulder, and headed for the subway without a second thought. I took the same route home every day. Same station, same train, same routine. The familiarity made me careless. I boarded the Uptown 6th train, and right away, I noticed something felt off. The car was almost empty. That wasn't unheard of, but it was unusual for that time of day. Still, I didn't think much of it. I had my headphones in, music blasting, probably Drake, and my eyes glued to my phone as I scrolled through chemistry flashcards. I wasn't paying attention to anything around me. That's important. If I had been more aware, if I had just looked up once or taken out one earbud, maybe I would have noticed something sooner. Maybe things would have gone differently. I planned to get off at 96th Street and walk the rest of the way home. I'd done it hundreds of times. The stops blurred together, and before I knew it, the train slowed. The doors opened. I jumped up from my seat on instinct, barely glancing up to confirm it was my stop. My body was running on autopilot. I walked toward the doors with my head still down, my music still loud, my mind still somewhere else entirely. And then I stopped. Something blocked my path. At first, my brain couldn't process what I was seeing. I caught it in my peripheral vision, bright colors where there shouldn't have been any. I looked up, annoyed, expecting some commuter who had stepped in front of the doorway. Instead, I found myself staring straight into a nightmare. A clown stood in the doorway, not a cheap Halloween mask, not a half-effort costume. This was the full getup. Oversized rainbow-striped pants, a baggy yellow shirt held up by red suspenders, massive red shoes that looked almost cartoonishly large. His face was painted stark white, the makeup cracked and smeared like it had been on too long. A round, red nose, thick blue eyebrows painted high on his forehead. The only thing missing was a wig. For a split second, I honestly thought my brain was glitching, that I was still staring at my phone, that my eyes were playing tricks on me. But he didn't move. He just stood there, blocking the doorway completely. He wasn't trying to get on the train. He wasn't stepping aside. He was positioned there deliberately, like he was waiting for me. My body locked up. The world narrowed down to just the two of us, me frozen in place, and this silent clown staring down at me. I couldn't see his eyes clearly through the makeup, but I could feel them on me. There was no expression on his face, no smile, no joke, just stillness. Then reality slammed back in. The doors would close in seconds. If I didn't get off now, I'd be carried to the next stop. Panic surged through me. I tried to sidestep him, squeezing toward the edge of the doorway. The moment I brushed against his arm, everything changed. He moved. In one smooth, deliberate motion, he leaned down toward me, lowering his face until we were nearly eye to eye. It felt calculated, like he wanted me to see him clearly. That was when instinct took over. I bolted. I ducked under his arm and sprinted past him onto the platform just as the doors began to slide shut. Behind me, I heard the clatter of oversized shoes hitting concrete. He lunged. I felt the rush of air as he missed tackling me by inches. I didn't stop to look. I ran. My backpack bounced against my shoulders as I tore down the platform. My heart was hammering so hard I could feel it in my throat. The station was eerily quiet. No crowds, no security, no one around to help. Then I heard footsteps behind me. Heavy. Fast. I glanced back. He was chasing me. The clown's movements were wrong. That's the only way I can describe it. His stride was jerky, almost unnatural, like his limbs didn't quite move the way they were supposed to. But what caught my attention wasn't how he ran. It was what he was holding. In his right hand was a knife. It looked like a kitchen knife. Long, reflective, unmistakably real. I have no idea where he'd been hiding it, but the sight of it sent pure terror flooding through me. I didn't think, I didn't plan, I just ran. I took the stairs 2 at a time, bursting out of the station and onto the street. The daylight felt blinding, cars passed by. People walked on the sidewalk like nothing was wrong. I didn't see him follow me out. Still shaking, I ran straight to the nearest police officer and tried to explain what had just happened. My words tumbled out in a mess. Clown, knife, subway, chase. They took me seriously immediately. Officers went down into the station to search, but he was gone. Vanished. They reassured me that I was safe, that it was probably someone taking advantage of the clown hysteria. But no amount of logic could quiet the fear in my head. All I could think about was how close he'd been, how easily it could have ended differently. For weeks afterward, I was paranoid. Every shadow felt wrong. Every stranger made my heart race. I kept imagining that he had followed me, that he knew where I lived, that I'd see those red shoes at the end of my block. But I never did. Nothing else ever happened. Sometimes I wonder if my story ended up lumped in with all the other clown sightings of 2016. Another strange headline, another viral rumor. But I know what I saw, and I know how real it felt. It took me weeks to feel normal again, and even now, years later, I still make sure I look up when I step off a train.